Alright, so today's video we're watching a Gold 1 support on PC playing Jetpack Cat. It's always nice to see that. And they say howdy. Longtime fan of the channel, and I've been playing Overwatch since 2021. And I've been grinding ranked with my duo for about 2.5 years. We have been hard stuck gold for over a year of that. We finally got to mid-plat / low diamond within the past few weeks when we started losing. A lot. This game felt as an average game for me, though normally I play Lucio, but our tank didn't like that I was on the cat, even though I had the second highest heals in the game. Anyway, I really tried this game as it was my rank up game back to plat. Any insight on how to rank back up and stay there would be great, and have a fantastic day. Okay, so let's see some Jetpack Cat gameplay. Let's see how this goes with Jetpack Cat. Now, gotta put note here with Jetpack Cat. 1, you don't need to bring people in the air all the time. 2, you want to come from flanks a lot. Yes, you make a little bit more noise in general, but like, it's so good on this character. So I don't want to see a lot of the low ground Jetpack Cat. Like, just to point out, and obviously it's just a start, but you said you like to play Lucio a lot too. Don't play Jetpack Cat like Lucio, as in like just standing there next to your team. A lot of it's going to be like kind of going into the air, going in for a flank, and then ended up back with your team. And that's like, see this approach you have right here on the Reaper? Like, that's what you're doing a lot of the time, and then you're getting out. Your Ryan is playing really aggressive. But so far, everything seems pretty chill, I'd say. Definitely 1, stop being on the ground so much. I just want to point out, like, you don't have any... With it being kind of like a free flight, you don't have to... Like, you know, with Pharah, you have a limited time. Echo, you have a limited time. With Jetpack Cat, you can, like, take your hand off the keyboard and still be there. You know what I mean? So, just something to be wary of. Like, already I'm looking at your positioning here, and you're... While it's working for your team, like, you pushing past the choke like this over here. So, like, a lot of time you're just going over here and then you're turning your back. And I like the kill on the Reaper there, by the way. This is kind of a bad timing for the example. But you keep turning your back to the rest of the lobby. That's going to get you killed a few times if you keep doing that. I just want to point that out. How do I not rage over these cooldown uses? Because, like, it's... Here's the thing with Jetpack Cat in the middle part of the bridge. The AoE heal, it's not the worst case scenario for Jetpack Cat gameplay. And obviously, like, I've had too many times where I watch players not hit their buttons, so I try to, like, start letting them hit their buttons early, and then as the game goes on, if I find that it becomes a major issue, I change that, right? Sometimes the first few team fights, you're just slamming, you know, you're slamming buttons, right? Like, it happens. You're just... It's before any of the team fights happen, so we'll see. Like there, for example, I will agree, like that AoE usage right there, like that was not ideal, right? Because everybody's full HP, there's no reason to pop the AoE yet because no one needs like any healing yet. So by the time you need the healing to help the Juno and not being able to like sit there and shoot him, that's the problem. Yeah, big slam alert. There it is. Yep. See how your positioning right there is getting you killed? Because you're going so low to the ground right there, you're not having an escape out. When you go in, you want to be able to get out too. That's why a lot of the Jetpack Cat players that at least I've seen, like, you know, even played in like pro play, and again, it's, you know, it's obviously ranked, but is they kind of sneak up on the target and then they go for the shots and then like zoom out, right? Like that. You say you zoom out like that, like that's what you want to do out. And I think a lot of what Jetpack Cat is finding how to do that without flying into their team. That AoE, you thought they were low. Yeah, I think definitely be a little bit careful on spamming your AoE heal. Like, you say you play Lucio a lot. I want you to think of that AoE heal as, like, if you just, like, randomly use your heal boost as Lucio. I think that's a good, like, explanation of that. All right, here you go. Here's your chance. Are you going to go for the kill? This is fine. Remember, you don't have to... There you go. Oh, well, now you're... Oh, there it is again. Oh, Genji's off the map. See, like, okay. So, 2 things. 1, this is the moment where you can actually use your lifeline on the cat to save your teammate. No guarantee they do. 2, your ultimate can stun them during this. So, like, say you wanted during that Zenyatta ultimate, you wanted to go grab somebody. That would be a great opportunity to grab somebody and get out. Number 3, you're turning your back from your whole team. There's, like, 3 things you did during that team fight where you pretty much just kind of floated in the air and didn't do much of anything. So I want you to be a little bit more decisive in that decision. Are you going to go help the back line? Well, get back there quickly. Are you going to help your teammates on the front line over there, which you could have? You know, you got to be decisive. You got to be, you know, instead you kind of played in between, and now your teammates just lose the team fight. Now, of course, you know, there's still a chance you lose that team fight, but you definitely had some opportunities to make a huge play, right? Movement, you could have, you know, you could have maneuvered that a little bit better, but that's okay. Decisiveness is going to be the key part here. Big slam alert again. Man, that Ryan probably wish they had a heal right now, don't they? A Winston just sat there and held left click on a Ryan. Yeah, I mean, Tether's good for scouting, like you said. Yep. But I think scouting in corners might be tough. Still waiting for your ult here. Yeah. You're very indecisive right now. I don't mind you going to the cart. You have time. So don't be afraid to, like, maneuver around there. Remember, your ultimate also stuns them as you go down. So, like, you can use your ultimate there maybe, like, a little bit earlier to try to, like, force, you know, a play by them that they don't want to do. There's a lot you can do in those situations, but right now you're doing a lot of the float around your team and then just hit your AoE heal occasionally. Okay, still waiting. Okay. Did you think somebody was there? That Reaper really wants to flank. Good job. Oop, gotta get out. Remember, okay, so I don't mind you going in for damage and kills, but once the Reaper kind of shifts out there and wants to go down the stairs, you're probably not gonna, like, be able to do anything at that point. So you need to, again, be ready to escape out. Also, I would love to see you use your ultimate at some point aggressively. Keep in mind, you're playing Eichenwald, a map with a very easy bridge to pull people off of. So, like, just something to be wary of. All right? Remember, there was a Reaper on cart, and you ran at the... So this is going to be the situational awareness of Overwatch. You're on point. Your teammates killed 3. There's a Reaper and a Zen, and you have some of the best mobility in the game right now, and an ultimate to go with. There is a Reaper right here. There's a Zenyatta right here. You have a Torp ult on the point, and you just need one person to get back and you win the team fight. At that point, you're going to float around the point. If the Reaper really goes for you, you can do like a really quick reaction ultimate and just like go this way with it, right? And if they use their fade, that gives you time to escape and make a decision. You can probably get to the health pack in time and then back to the point. Instead, you just run to the Zenyatta down here, and that's the point. So I just want you to think about like those type of scenarios. Right now, when you said you wanted to climb and stay in your rank, your playmaking ability right now, you haven't been trying to make any plays. You've been basically just kind of flying around the map, and that's that. So I just want you to look at that. Good AoE heal here, by the way. Your teammates were getting low, so I do like that. Big slam alert. There you go. I was going to say, you can lift the Zenyatta up. That was a good idea. So, yes, just so chat knows, yes, during the ultimate, during Zenyatta ultimate, you can lift the Zenyatta. Like, that is a thing. Good AoE heals there, by the way. I felt like you kept your team alive. So, this was a good sequence by you. I want you to think about this whole sequence right here and kind of use this as like a start to a blueprint, okay? You have an ultimate. You make an aggressive play. You kill a Zenyatta. Perfect job. The Zenyatta ultimate loses value. You then use your cooldown, your heal, efficiently, your AoE heal, to keep your teammates alive during a major team fight, and then you're good there. So just to show you, that was a good sequence. That was a playmaking sequence that really helped the team fight. That AoE heal was okay. Could have waited an extra second. Careful. Yep. So in that situation, it would be better to keep your teammates alive than try to go into their team. So give you a note on getting kills as Jetpack Cat. A lot of it is the surprise of it, not the obvious of it, right? So if you come from like the side, which is funny to think about the Reaper meme, but if you come in from like a different angle and they don't see you, those type of like kills are so much easier to do, right? Nah, I don't mind the attempt there. I think your Ryan just ended up pinning them. I thought I should have got him too. You would just be flying away over there. There you go. Nice job. I don't mind the idea of that ultimate on the Ramatra. Again, I want you to think about the situation. This goes back to like the understanding the team fight as it's happening. Your team won that. Like everybody was on their team was pretty much dead there, so I think you would have won that regardless, and you could have saved it for here. Again, I don't mind the idea though. And if I say, hey, I want you to be more playmaky, and then you make a play like that, I don't want to take that away from you either. Like I don't want you to. But I'm just like, it's more of a, you know, recognize the situation as best as you can. Backing up. There you go. Nice job backing up there. Last time you stayed in. The new OWCS one starts tomorrow. If you haven't finished the other ones, there today. Big slam alert. Okay. This one's a tough one. I didn't see your AoE use try, but I think you did fine. Yeah. So I think when you play Jetpack Cat, I really want you to start thinking about how you approach your engagements. Because right now you're making it obvious. Like if I see a Jetpack Cat fly into my team, I know you're going to lose a ton of momentum on the way out, and it's going to basically be a free kill. And again, something I want you to kind of like pay attention to when you're playing. Let's go. Nice shot. There you go. See, that's effective usage of that. Okay, here we go. Drop going back. Now, this is where I want you to be careful. Like right there. Do you see how you go into the small room there? You have so much, like, you can maneuver around the bridge. You can maneuver around that whole part of the map. Like, you go in there and you just... I think you think you're going to get a bunch of kills right away. You have the right idea for going for them, but you want to use that momentum to kind of go back and forth. And I feel like you just kind of get a little bit too risky with that. All right. Seems to be a... Is the Rhine mad? Is this the... Or were they waiting on the team? Well, the inefficient fuel usage comes from being too hyper aggro to begin with. Like, as in, like, going in, like, from this angle. Because a lot of time you can slow approach it, then you can get out. That's what I'm trying to get at, is, like, there's different approaches. Yep. There you go. Good kill. Keep your teammates alive now. Use your AoE now. You have a Genji on you. Perfect. That's fine. There is a Genji. There's an ult in Genji. Okay, that's an ult by Genji. I'm okay. Yeah. Well, you know, that was a play. That certainly was. Wait for it. Okay, cool. I didn't really have anything to note there. It was kind of like the snowball. Wait, help your team. Genji, top right. There you go. I think sometimes you kind of look away from your team in the neutral, which is where basically nothing's happening. You kind of just chill. And, like, right there, you could blatantly see a Genji in front of you, and I'm like, that Genji could have easily killed a Torb. I'm curious to see if you go for this, because, like, these are the moments of playmaking at this part of the bridge. So I want to see how you handle it. Good job going for the Genji. Okay. Yeah, you're dead there. Honestly, here's something I want you to start doing. I want you to start defaulting to using the flight into the sky and more like into like cover that way than always default into the ground as Jetpack Cat. Again, you could literally have your hands off the keyboard and Jetpack Cat will stay in place. I want you to think about escaping more upwards than like just basically down to the ground. Because I think sometimes you get killed that way. And like obviously like going for the health pack there is fine. Like I'm not saying not to go for health packs, but more like your default situation is just to land on the ground. Like after you... Like immediately after using everything. Like right there, you escaped out, and you notice how you survived that, no problem? That's kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some hesitation, like, on the Jetpack Cat ult. It also just stuns. I think people forget, like, when you slam the ground, it does a little bit more than just pick somebody up. So, like, I don't know. I would look for opportunity for a kill. There you go. Good job. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Off the map they go. Now, you can escape out. Like, right here. Okay, let's talk about that. You can't go this way because their whole team is here ready to go. So you get the kill on Ramatra, right? And you just go this way. Look at, boom. You're back here. The momentum will bring you back, and now you're safely back to the team. That's why it's really important to understand how to path correctly on any hero. And if your teammates die to the blade, they die to the blade. You can't do anything about that. Right now, you're just not here. You're already out of the team fight. You don't really plan your escape that well on Cat when a lot of the escape routes are really easy. Big slam. Okay. All right, so what's your plan here? Yep. Here's Zenyatta to your right. We just heard the right clicks from Zen, so you know there's someone there. Again, a Vortex is getting value when you're on Jetpack Cat. Yep. And there it is. You notice how you just spectated that whole sequence? There was no point for you trying to make a play there. There was no point for you hearing the Zenyatta to your right. You actually find Cat really hard to play and maneuver with. Think about any mobile hero, right? Like, think about any hero that has mobility. If I was playing, Tracer, you're going to want to manage some of your blinks to be able to survive, right? And the way that this Jetpack Cat is playing is basically just using all of your cooldowns at once to fly in, and there's no thoughts of getting out. A lot of Jetpack Cat is setting up pre-fight, being sneaky with your play, going for a little bit of damage, and then the AoE if you decide to, and then you fly out with that momentum. A lot of what I've seen from Jetpack Cats is just flying in with that momentum and having no way out. So you're basically just either trading or going for theirs. So, yep. I like how you got the point, by the way. Team probably shouldn't have had that, so that worked out perfectly. Yeah. All right, you have your Jetpack Cat. I want to see an aggressive ultimate here. Send it right at the stuff. Okay. Dude, I'm so pumped for this aggressive play. See what I mean? Right. See what I mean? You're in a spot where you can make plays and you just kind of choose to spectate those plays. And I think that's gonna be what, like, I've kind of pinpointed you a couple of good moments you've had with your aggression. And I think you need to, like, do more of that. I think you're just a little bit hesitant at times. And I get it, right? You know, hesitation happens in a lot of ranks. I mean, heck, I even have that in moments where, like, I don't know how to create space correctly in a spot. And I get very hesitant, right? I feel like you have opportunity there. But yeah, I just think you need to be a little bit more proactive with your play. Obviously, like, I want you to think, I think sometimes you need to think more about your cooldowns in the sense of, would you use, you know, AoE heal boost here from Lucio if you were in that same situation? And I think most times the answer is no. There, I get what you're doing because you want to use a little bit of the damage that you can do with it if, for some reason, the Roadhog takes more damage, so I get that one, right? But again, look at your pathing. You don't need to basically do what you did. You can be in the air. You can kind of maneuver around the map. So I want you to, again, stop defaulting to the ground. If Vortex is getting value against you, when, like, there's a Ramatra, now I'm just giving that as an example from earlier, that's a problem, right? Like, most of the time the Vortex shouldn't be able to get the Jetpack Cat unless they're using it hyper defensively on the back line when you go in for your quick damage, right? So right now this is a lot of, like, right here, talking about the AoE stuff. Like, in theory, like, yes, you're getting some ult charge, but your teammates aren't taking a ton of damage. So in a situation where you would want to use this when the team fight starts to break out, you're popping this pre-fight. And again, I know you're trying to sustain your teammates, but, like, look at this. Look at their HP. They're not really taking much damage. So all you're really doing right now, you're AoE handling, like, this amount of damage. And then now you're on a 12-second cooldown, right? But now you're on a 12-second cooldown. Now, like, right there, let me give you an example. See, you didn't use Lifeline on the sleeping teammate. If you go up to your teammate right there in an overtime and try to do a lifeline from an angle, and again, by the way, you can use the lifeline to, like, scout too. People do that sometimes, or, like, they put the lifeline button, like, here, and you can, like, see around the corner with a third person. You don't do a lot of that either. Like, I see your teammate sleeping there. I'm like, okay, like, listen, I've watched a lot of, like, Jetpack Cat, like, in pro play, and a lot of the time the lifeline ability is not used, right? You use it for ultimates to help your teammates, and you use it for, like, rare moments for, like, getting your teammates back. But someone sleeping on the ground, that's a perfect opportunity to use that ability, right? You're not forcing it, you're trying to make the play. Now you're going down, right? And then you heal. Okay. You're over chasing. Yep. See what I mean? At no point did you think about anybody here. You just tunnel vision on the Reaper. Look at what you're going into, right? It's that awareness of everything that's going on during the team fight. Right there, you just gave him a free kill. Zenyatta's gonna ultimate, just launch it in there with the Zen ult. All right? I'd ult now. Heck, waiting on the ult. Heck, wait, don't wait, don't. You have to be more decisive. You have a really good ultimate. You have people that can follow up. The worst case scenario is you get out the Reaper ultimate then, and a Zenyatta ultimate, and you go down. Instead, you only get a Reaper ultimate that you basically went into to begin with. You're just very, like, indecisive at times, and you don't go into the playmaking like side of that. And I just want you to start to kind of think about that a little bit more in those situations, okay? I agree that doesn't always work when you want to, but I think that's just more of, like, an interaction thing. But, like, at least you're going for the ultimate when we try to hit. This isn't even happening, right? Good kill. Yep. Turned your back there again. But just outside of that, like, that was solid. I mean, you're still gonna do that sometimes. Momentum. No, just hide. Good job. Remember, you can use the roofs a little bit more there too. Like, don't be afraid to go even higher. You can take. Okay, here we go. All right. Yeah, this is what I mean. I know you want to capture the point, but the worst thing you can do here is give them a free kill. You have the mobility to get away. Jetpack Cat can be one of the low death count heroes, and right now, what are you at? But holy crap, that is a lot of deaths for Cassidy. Anyway, I have seen scoreboards like this where the Jetpack Cat has 5 deaths. You have a lot of survivability, and because you're going to the ground all the time and playing to the floor, it's really causing problems. I want you to think about being just being in the air a lot more. Always escape up. Always escape really far away. Use that momentum. Don't spam your fuel. Like, there's things you can do there, and you'll be a lot better on that one. I'm okay going for the kill there. AoE heal is fine. Reaper's low. Remember, you don't need to be right next to the Reaper. Again, I know you want to do the cat scratch, but... Okay, you got to win the team fight before you sit there. Good kill. Whoop, nice. That AoE heal makes sense. Still waiting. Ready? See, like there, I would have thought you would AoE heal during that. Yep. You can just use your ult. Just hit your button. Just hit your button. I just you can't save it till next game, and unfortunately your team does lose this unless your Wrecking Ball has the best play ever, which unfortunately doesn't seem like it will happen. Maybe it does. Still waiting. Good spin. Still going. Still waiting. Still going, and that's that. Just to kind of, again, like talk about this with your Jetpack at gameplay. It feels like it's a lot of just, you're trying to still learn the hero, and I think that's fine. Like, it's not like you can't hit your shots, you can't get kills. But I really want you to take a different approach. One, always escape up. Going for health packs when you have fuel, totally fine, right? Like, because you have the mobility to get out and get in. But like, I want you to think about escaping on the high ground. Get away from them. Like, you should not be dying to Reaper all the time. You should not be getting, you know, rolled by a Ramatra Vortex. Like, these are things that Jetpack Cat should generally avoid. You already could have used your ultimate about 5 more times this game. I'm not even joking. You would have built so many ultimates. Like, I would see you sitting at that over, like, the L charge. For anybody new, by the way, see the 7 out of 25? That's the sub-roll passive. You get an extra 25% upwards, too, of L charge. Which means that when you use your ultimate, you get 25% ult charge back if you max that out. And like, you were just sitting on that ult all the time. Be more aggressive, be more proactive with it, right? Make those aggressive plays, because remember that one moment on defense where you did that? It was a great play. You basically won the team fight for your team. You got a Zenyatta kill for free. You healed your teammates with a good AoE. It was good. More of that and less of, I'm playing on the ground. I'm going to spam my AoE button randomly, like just to hit the button. Learn how to engage the enemy where they don't see you. Like, set up on a high ground behind for a second. Going, like, let me give you one example before I go off here. Like, imagine like you're on defense and you sit right here. You deny space from a Genji going over the top, and then when the cart's here, okay, there's a Zenyatta. You start shooting the Zenyatta, go for a melee, boom, you zoom out, right? You zoom out into the air, now you're safe, you don't die, everything's fine. You're doing this, you're going, oh, a Zenyatta? Hey, what's up? Let me zoom in, and then you're stuck here. And then you're going slow as molasses, going this way, going like half a mile per hour, and you fall over. You see what I'm saying? So like, just kind of change how you approach that, and things will go a lot better. I'm telling you that when you start doing more of that playmaking, you start taking that more safer approach to like how you engage, and you just time your AoEs, you're going to see a climb. You're going to have way more uptime, and way more uptime means way more survivability, and way more survivability means your teammates surviving more, and it makes more plays, and you win more games. So you got this. You absolutely got this. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't. Leave a comment. All that helps. If you want to submit your own spectating, my Discord's where to do that. And if you want to watch more of these spectates of, you know, how to get better or just for fun, click right here down on the bottom over the whatever side this is on. It's a good one. With that being said, hope you all have an amazing day/night.